Timberborn. I have a new diamond playthrough. I'm like this because the lazy little buggers are asleep. Get up, you lazy bastards. Anyway, yeah, so this is obviously episode 51 of New Diamond. And I know we normally go to 50 on all these, whether it's going to be all the Timberborns or what I'm doing is Whiskerwood playthrough, or let's say any of the others that are like this, sort of you're doing something. It's difficult with the 2 Point Hospital because it just carries on, you know. So anyway, so the reason why we're doing this is because we want to, you know, it's taken me around 40 episodes or so to get this done, and obviously we have our power tower, which unfortunately you can't see yet, and I might open up, well I can open up two sides, but I can't open up the back side. That sounds a bit wrong, but you know what I mean. And obviously I've got to fix it. The reason why these are doing this is because of the right at the bottom, it's flooded. It's flooded because it has to come out and go down here, which we're all going to change. Hence the reason why we're going to carry on and get more stuff done. Now, we will not have a lot of dirt to get. Now, I'm not too sure which one I'll get rid of first. Probably this would be the better one. But we are getting to the, getting to the end. I'm not, but we still haven't decided what we're doing with this. Now, I was messing about last time and putting the water up here. Now, whether I do that sort of thing, I've got rid of, I've clearly got rid of these, so let's get rid of them. Well, I would have, if I could work out what button to press. And then we'll do that, because we don't need these anymore. We can get rid of this. Boom. And get rid of this. So in the essence, the beavers have done really well. Like I said, because I was playing this on normal, I could probably do this amount of water and not have to worry. Now, obviously, last time I got started on this. Now, remember, in Timberborn, how water works is obviously if you're getting it like that, like here, normal, you're getting it. Now, how this mechanic works is because it's over all of this, it's basically wetting everything or making everything work as it should do. In other words, it's not drying out. That's the mechanic that in reality, that would not work at all. But that's not how this game works. So we're doing it as we're doing it. It'd be nice to now. Obviously, I've not selected. Why have I not selected anything on there? Probably. I've got a few vacancies though. I'll do the spad up because we're now we're running again. I think we're running again. We probably no workers available. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Oh, I know I'm moving. Yes, I'm moving stuff, aren't I? That's what I was doing. I'm trying to remember. It's been a couple of weeks or a week or so since I. Yeah, it's been about a week since I did it from the previous ones, and obviously there's always a load that goes on the channel and you're going, where am I? What am I doing? And that was what it was. That's, I think, flat. Is it flat or is it not flat? Let's have a look. Let's go down. No, it's not flat, is it? So I've got the, yeah, this is fine. This is fine, it's all fine. Right. Let's demolish that now. I'm keeping this line, but I'm going to have to decide how far I'm going out. which I think is 1, 2, and then we're going down again. I like to do these sort of things, and I don't like to, if I can help it, follow anybody else's ideas, or if I do, I try to adapt it. You know, it's up to you. It's up to you how you want to have yours. I know 1 or 2 people do have some ideas from my ideas, and I think that's really nice. I think that's a great. Although saying that though, we've got to think here, because cattail does not. I've got to do a 3, so I've got to have 3 here as well. 2, 3. I think this is it. I think that's how I've got it. Yes, because that would be in the center. I'll leave it on slow. No, I don't really want to. I don't want him to build it just in case I make it douchka. So this is obviously the aqua, and they're going to go that way, so that's fine. But we got cattails. Now cattails, they need a mill, whatever the hell that is. But they need power. And there's no way we're going to get power on this. So really, it's absolutely pointless. Because then they can do... There you go, you see. Cattail crackers, it needs flour. But it would need to be in... Well, I haven't got any. In a mill. The trouble is with the mill is you need power, like I said. So we haven't got the power. I'll say yet. The only... silly thing is this the wrong way around then? Because the power's here, well, it's there. Do I do a swappies and do that way? And have plant crops, clear crops. Like this, and this. I'm doing this now because obviously this has already been done. But what we can do, I think, in the essence of not completely fudging it up, because we don't want to do that, because that would be usual. I'll take these out. And I'll pause all this. I'm not using it. I've got enough. That way, if I've got to redesign this because I've got to have that there, that way I'm not. I'll build. No, I don't even think I'll build this actually. I'll build a flat form. I'll build a flat form. No, actually, I won't even do that. We'll not even get that. We'll not even go down to that as well. I'll leave it like this, because until I decide how all this is going to be, then it ain't going to work, Batman. I'm going to take that as a 3. It doesn't matter if I go right the way down, to be honest. But I'm going to have to do something with this, I think. I know that's taken an enormous amount of time to get through. Remember, these here... no, I think they are. These here wouldn't actually be... no, they're closed, you see. Because they're not even used. Because we feed in the water over here. So I'm doing all that. They're gonna do all that. Obviously, all this now needs to be sorted out. Sorted out, mate. Sorted out. Haven't really decided all of this yet. That's the problem. Now I've now made this. This is our channel. If I start whacking this out, it'll just flood all this here. This infrastructure needs to move, but I don't think we need. I don't think we need as much now as we did before. But then I've still got to work out what the hell I'm going to do with all this, isn't it? Really. Is that where that needs to be? I don't know. That's a big... then it would be a 2. Now we can't get to this. Oh no, well actually we can. They will build that. The slight problem is that do we want them to build all of that? Or do we want it further down and then going upwards? In other words, then it won't block the... That's a good question, Pig. I like that question. So I'll do that. In other words, when this is built, am I going to go down with this? You know, that's a lot of power. 3,000. And we're only getting... I'm getting a third of that there, you know. But I need to do something with it, but I don't actually... I've not thought this through ever, which sounds about right. Drought approaching, don't mind that. Now, obviously, when a drought approaches, this won't fill up quite well. Now, remember, I can only fill this up to a certain amount as well. Because if it goes over the 1, it'll flood. So even though I've got a double ring around it, you know, double height, it's not going to work. I still cannot get my idea what I'm going to do with that. But I'm going to have to start thinking about it because I need a lot of this out. I need this out. I'm more than likely concentrating on this. Now, a lot of this isn't even being used, as we can see. Even though I've got 200, that's not being used. The only things that are actually being used is the explosives, which is basically, that's it. I've got 200... I basically can turn a lot of this off once it's ready. The only thing I can't do is the food. So maybe that's the only thing that I need to sort of... Whoops, can't see Jack Diddley Squat. As I say, when I finished it, I thought, what am I going to do with it? This is why I didn't want to... Whoops. This is why I didn't want to end the series, because I thought, you know, I've got you right to the end, or you may have only been watching half through, maybe, or whatever. Or maybe this is the first one you've watched. If it is, I would suggest you go back. I've been doing this for about this one here for about 40 episodes, I think. But obviously, this has been the last, you know, say 4 or 5, and it's been a bit of a trauma to get my head around it. But I got it in the end. It's weird, as you can see here. If you've not seen it, it goes down, and it's like a snake. It goes, yeah, remember the old snakes and ladders? It's a bit like that, I suppose. And then obviously I've got the power coming out here. And then I've got to decide how I'm going to get it around everywhere to be able to do everything. Now, like I said, it's like, well, what do I tackle first? And I know it's like, well, tackle the first things first, but I don't really know what the first things are going to be. I think I can ditch this. Because I don't think I need any more. Or even if I do, I've got that one. What do we really... I suppose I've got to decide what I want up there. We really want a platform for the bakery. Even though the fields are going to be there, Yeah, the fares are good. They're gonna have to come down to go back up again. What the hell? Although saying that though, well no, 'cause I was thinking, can I pump electricity from here in here? Yes, potentially. We'd only need it in the weeds. Remember, I can do this. I could change one of these to come up over there and come down and into here. I don't have to do it like that. And then what I was sort of thinking of was if I just come down a bit. Now this is you know when you get like, oh god, what am I gonna do? I've got the wheat down here. Now, if you think of it logically, carrots don't need power. Sun don't need power. Potatoes don't need power. As we hear, because they run off the logs. The only one that needs the power is the wheat, which just so happens to be here, quite low down. Now, it wouldn't be that difficult to work out something, keep sort of here. Remember, this and this feed each other. Well, that feeds that side, and that doesn't feed that side, but they do feed each other's the side. I know I've got this in here as well, which I don't think I need anymore, and I could probably fill that in with dirt and get that filled in. But anyway, let's tackle that. And if it doesn't work, as long as I don't put anything, because I've got a flat, I've got this. This is not there. It's empty. It's nil, niche. Oh, it's 2.5. It's 2.5 from a disc. All right. It can't pull that in. We can do that now. Get that one in. Thank you. As otherwise we'll have. Well, we won't have a hole. That's not how it works. Where are you going? Where are you going? Get this done. Come on, play the game. Anyway, yeah. So maybe that's the answer to all our questions. This isn't really the center. If we take these two, well, this is the center, isn't it? This one, because obviously this is the other one. This is one. This. So if I take this as being the center, I have a cunning plan. For an example, if I don't know when it works, but I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to have to pause again because I don't want this to be built. Rotate, thank you very much. If I was to do this, they can still get under there. And then I was to do this. Ooh, it works. I mean, yes, I could put it on the floor. But why put it on the floor? And then let's just have a, let's see. Well, I don't want to do that. It's the wheat, in it, you idiot. Crops. Well, carrots or anything, it doesn't really matter as long as one of them fits under. Because if one fits under, the other will fit under. Yeah, you see, I can just go. Otherwise, I'm going to have to... See, I can't take up that, because obviously I cannot get... That's not actually true. That'll cause a problem. I was just thinking there. I know that was a bad idea. If I let's come down here and I'll show you why I was thinking what I was thinking. Now stopped. Let's say I have this. So this goes through like so. I can dump one of these on top. Then I could put this on top. The reason why I'm showing you that is, imagine in not having this here, I'd have to take out that. In other words, I'd lose until I rebuilt it again, obviously. Because once I smash this out, I take this out. Oh, no. No. I don't need to do that. I can use a tunnel. I could tunnel it. What I was thinking of, then I'm not using all this thing just to do it. If I tunneled this, in fact, if I tunneled all of this line, in fact, I can tunnel as much as I like, really. Let's go back up one, because it's going to be easy to... No, it's not. What am I talking about? Yeah, so if I tunneled all of this lot here, where do I want the... Obviously, this is different. Now, I've got this way around, which I think is probably a better way. They're all covering all, so that's probably the way to... That's the way to do it. Which would be of this centre. And... Sorry about this, but this is these are the things that get your brain cell going in the morning. Well, it's not morning, actually. But you know what I mean. That's a grill. No, that's not one. I want a gristmill. As we can see, it can be a bit iffy where it wants power. So, well, it allows... You can see the little dots. It allows there, and I think it will allow the back side as well. I think it just gives you an idea, I think. But I quite like that, but I don't think that has to work. These two lanes have to be connected to this centre. And if I run the thing through there, yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Well, what could go wrong? I love the way I said that. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. This theoretically should work. I'm going to do this one. Because obviously it's away from the front, and if I bust that one, that's going to be a right pain to fix again. Now there's going to be two problems. If this fails, this gets completely dumped out. Although we're not doing anything with it, so... Well, actually, we are doing with it. If this water does get dumped out, which it won't, because it'll just tunnel through it and it'll hold it. But what I mean is, if I can't do what I want to do, that means I'm going to either have to leave that in, or... No, because that would fail, I think. I thought I could build another one up on the side of it, but no, because it's... Yeah. Anyway, let's see how this works. I want to be able to get the power down. Like this. I'm going to have to go that way. As long as then... We see these lines that I built, or this line that I built. It's going to be from... Come on. No, wrong line. Yep. Oh, that's the right line. This line here, and it probably won't be as long as that, but let's just say, let's humour me. I'm going to humour myself. And I'll put this here. I'm always going to need one of these, because obviously they can't walk around. Here we go. Woohoo! Now, will this work? Otherwise, this is going to be silly. There you go. So now I put the power in the center. And the option is I could spread it, but I mean the only slight issue, I suppose, in a way, is where I'm gonna stick. There you go. See, now I've got the power in there. Obviously, like it'll adjust itself based on what you can you know, you connected it to. Even though I've done this one, I've done this one. It did a fall. How the hell am I going to get that in there, though? That's the problem. I was thinking, how am I going to get this? Remember, I've got this here. I said I'm going to run this. Obviously, these now. This doesn't work. This is going to go. This to here, and maybe to here doesn't really work anymore, because they can walk on the top. They can remember that we've got a walkway. Yes. I'm trying to build it and go inwards, which I could do. This is so dodgy. By doing that, then if I take that idea and I supersize that going upwards, I just want to do something different. The idea is not to do the same as, well, I'm not saying anybody else because I don't really know what other people are doing. I spend a lot of time on my own doing this, as you well know. But we all have different crazy ideas, and I quite like the crazy ideas. And then we fit this. Now, obviously, we can't walk over there. Well, that's not technically true. Well, it is true, but it's not true. In a sense of, you know, here we could put a, you know, but we'd obviously have to go out slightly one again. Droughts here. So this now, obviously, is not going to get any water. You know, I mean, we could fill. I think we could fill it to 1. I don't know. I mean, I've only got it set to 80, but I know if you overfill it, it will. You know, I don't think they can reach these. Oh yes, they can. They can reach them all. How the hell did they reach that one then? That one's one further up. I don't know how they reached that. I've got to admit, I didn't think that. Yeah, it's too far. Of course it's too far. Of course it's too far, mate. I think it was too far. I'll do what I normally do. Remember, they can reach 2 upwards. So just shove a, you know, a one of these, and that they'll build this, but then they'll be able to get to the higher one, and you just have to take it out. That sort of works, doesn't it? Well, it works up to there. The only trouble is yes. I'm going to do one on here, because I think that'll need, because it needs to, if we take this to another level, if we take this ID here and we run this, unfortunately we can't plonk it. It would be really nice if we could have something to plonk it onto the side of the side of the wall, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that. And if I take this out, it'll just fall. Well, it'll just disappear into the ether. It technically doesn't exist. Yeah, see, now I've built that. Now, I should theoretically, I'm saying theoretically, this could just be a disaster, as we've found out in the past of other things that I've done. If we... Where's the street tool? If we do... now this might be a problem. I don't think they can get to it. Well, they can get to it. I don't know how they get to it, because the ladder's in the way. But I assume the collision detection doesn't recognise that. So I'm not going to complain about that. You see, remember, I don't want to go any higher. Why has the beaver got stuck? Why have you got stuck? What are you doing? Where is he? Why is it? Why? Why is he in there? Why impossible? Green Earth is he in there? Did I must have done a numpty. I think this was my fault. I'm going to call it my fault. I must have, when I did that, done a double around and did see it. And it's basically the same. I think it's basically the same running through. But to make sure I don't... Yeah, I didn't have it. Like this. And because that's there, if I was to... Like I said, if I was to change... I'm going to have to change this. That's going to have to be a... Like this. Maybe... It depends on if I want to walk over there. And I think I might want to do that. So I'm going to build that into it. You know, like this idea here. It's basically this idea. That's basically what it is. I don't think that will work. So I'm going to get rid of this. Don't get rid of that. Don't get rid of that. No, actually, if I do that, I won't get rid of that. And I bet you if I was to do that, yeah, it would. It does do the power shafts going through. And then we do that again, and then I get a walkway there. Building a power shaft. They can reach that because they can reach it from here. Build this power to there. This obviously needs to be picked up. Come on, guys. Pick it up. 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 I can't get any further, you see, and I don't really want to be any further on the outside anyway. So that's okay. That needs to be picked up as well. No storage available for planks, apparently. I must be making planks. Am I making planks? I'm not even making planks. Okay, I'll just delete them. I can't be pushed. I'm not going to do that until his lordship here gets himself out. Runjiti, whatever his name is. Don't do that again. I'm blaming myself really, but still. It's my fault, but don't tell anybody. There we go, guys. He's hoppeted it now. And we'll pick this up again. I better do some space for... yeah, right, okay. I have no space for planks whatsoever. I will in a minute. I think I can put them on here. Let's go to storage. Let's go to here. Let's dump a ladder on there. I'm going to do this once, but it'll do. It will do just to get the planks picked up from everywhere. Yeah. Sometimes I get mixed up with this one. With this one. Well, in fact, I tend to do it quite often. We do that, so now they can get in there. And then they'll shove that in there. We don't care after that. Then they'll pick all these planks and get them out my way. Right. That needs to be deleted. No, have they done this? Yes, they did. I don't think yet, though, that they'll be able to build this. Yes, they will. This technically shouldn't work. The reason why is this ladder's in the way. But because I reckon the detection isn't this part here. Well, it is actually, because you can't walk with a path, but that's not a path, and I think it doesn't understand that. So I'm having that. I'm having that as a win. I'll get rid of this. Remember, they can do this from the top. They don't have to do it from the bottom. I can also then fit this in. I can fit this in. I don't know where that's just gone. Yeah, it's just vanished. It's just vanished in the game somewhere else. No. That's wrong. That's wrong. That is wrong. I've got to now get rid of these two. Then we do a power shaft further up here, and then connect that into there. Oh, look at that, guys. That's absolutely amazing. Pigs has sorted some out 101. Now, this here may have to go slightly further out. Because like excuse me. Like I said, this obviously has the damn thing in the stupid way. I either do it this way and have the power shaft that way at the back of it, or I do it this way and have it connected there. You can see the little nipples come out. Which means I'd have to have a path. I'm just thinking of how I want the path to see. I like the idea of it being here. See, I can do it with the efficient thing because that's that way. But the problem being is I can't get that over there. Which means if I say just see how humid myself, and I'm just going to pause this because I don't want it to be built. I probably put I put that in the wrong place. It's not going to be where it is. That's not where it's going to be. But I'm just going to humour myself. It needs to be. They need to be further over. So if they need to be further over, it's not that much of a. Well, again, it is a problem. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that does get. If we look at that, that does get. I didn't think it would get all the way to here, but it does. So maybe I can leave them there then. Maybe that's perfectly fine. It's this here. It's like, well, if I do that, then I can't do it. If I do it that way, they're all on the outside. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter that I'm taking room. I suppose that doesn't. That wouldn't be too bad, would it? Let's just humour myself here with this. Now pause that. So all the ins, these, but obviously it's not connected to any power. Now I'd have to take out what I'd have to do. I'm going to lose, to get this up here with the power running around, I'm going to lose a bit, but the end of the day, it doesn't. I can't see it being too much of a problem. No, because this is 3 high. Like, I've just pushed one up. Yeah, I don't think you can. I was just thinking that. I don't think you can actually. I can't do it now because with a tunnel it's blank and this would not allow this in. I'd have to take this out and then change it. But I don't actually know where this idea would actually this, and this would work. Do you know it flipping would work? That would work as well. I was just thinking, could you? No, don't. Get off. Stop being a beaver. Obviously, it's okay when they're here, but what happens when I want one up there? You know, that's what I was trying to think of. I don't want it to connect to this here. I'm just thinking that if this is further up, how do I connect this monstrosity? And I was thinking, well, I could do again something like this. So I'm just going to pause it. I could take this out. I can redo it back again. It's not really much of a problem. Back against this weird notch. That then comes over. That then comes down into here. Now, I just want to know: is that gonna say there's power? See, I don't know whether it would say there's power there or not. I think it would. It's a bit weird, but it does allow the path to go straight through. But I'd have to decide where I want these. And bearing in mind that there's going to be another one at the top. We're going to have 4. We're going to have it like this one, but a bit different. Because this one's fine. Although, yeah, this one's fine. If I switch this round, I could put this line in this line and only use. I'd still be using 2, because I can't get away from using 2 because obviously. Well, that's not true either. That's actually not true. That's not true at all, is it? If you think about it, I can put one of these in, can't I? That would give me a path all the way right down the center. Even down to this silly thing, right? And then if I turn these around, because this would link into here, but would that be too far? I might even try that as well. I know it doesn't. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I understand that, but it's about can you do what you're trying to do, or can't you do what you're trying to do? And we can. I think actually what happens is, sorry, I just chopped the conversation. A platform works in with the tunnel. So it's a platform, blow, explode, blah, 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 blah. That's what we get, right? But I think this here, well, it doesn't look like it, but it's very similar to this. And it's very similar to this. And come on. Where are you? There we go. This, isn't it? If we look at the two, it's very similar. And the only thing it doesn't have is obviously the one up there. So it's not the same, but it's similar. That's the problem. You see, I can't send it upwards, but I wouldn't want to send it upwards because that would be a hole, wouldn't it? And it's the wheat's the only thing that I need one of these for. I'm trying to work out a neatish way of doing it, you know. Now we know that if we do to this, we're fine. So in fact, actually, if you take what I've done, it actually works out quite well. Unless I want this at the other side, because it looks a bit here, you know. Like if I just delete this and I delete this, A bit more, you know, I didn't... I think it's all about explaining. I try to do it as if I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to come up with in my mind as while I'm doing it. I know it doesn't always work like that. If I rotate, and I think we can flip this, rotate, like that, which will work. Obviously, I'm going to pause that as well. Now, let's just... I know I've spent an enormous amount of time on this. And I haven't really got anything... Well, it doesn't really matter what I've got going, because I'm not actually really needing anything to go, am I? It's not building anything. It's not doing anything. Flip that. So that goes to there. I now... Pause that. I now need to get another power. Bearing in mind, I'd have to slice them to left and right as well. Then we flip this, rotate, as that one. As we're taking this down, now you'll see what my plan was. Well, hopefully you'll see it anyway. I take this. I don't technically need that one, but do I do it for continuity purposes? Probably not. Don't do what you don't need to do. Because if you need to do something else, you will look silly. Right. If I pause this one can be that. Now you see what I mean. You see where the shafts come in. But that's going to be no good, is it, pig? You idiot. How the hell are you going to get... Oh, no, because you've got to do it at the end. Not there. Ew. Bugger. I don't like where that's situated now, then. I suppose it doesn't really make too much of a difference. That one's going to sit up to it, and that one's going to sit up to it. Although I don't have to do it there, I don't think. I think I could actually do it. No. No, I need to do it on the end, don't I? Because I need to do it on the end because I need to get that. I need to allow... It can't be one of these for a start off. It needs to be this. Because this still needs to go through. This needs that. And that there. That allows that to go down. That then needs to be that. And that. Which means that needs to be that. That needs to be that. Well, that's the most convoluted thing I've ever seen. Not. But I think it works, though. I think that's going to work. Well, in fact, I'm going to leave it. We're going to build it. I've got tons of everything. I don't really need to worry about too much about. Anyway. I've got this. All I need to theoretically do is take out this. We are at 40 damage, and I pull what we say. Pull your finger out your ass, pig. No. No, that's going to be a problem because this is the only one that allows it to go. No, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to put this in. Rotate that. Better build that before we go any further. Because I'm going to have to cut this off. And this is the only one that allows me to go to the top. I ain't got another one. Jimmy. Jimmy, I ain't got another one. But I have got this here, which I could do. And you can get rid of that one. Which we might be able to get rid of some of these and just have one. This is another thing. Can I just have one in instead of having ladders like this? Right, we got it in. We have. We should be able to get rid of this now. You see what I mean by the water? I may have to do something with that. I don't know. I may have to have... Say I'm having these up here and have some fluid dumps that are fluid dumping into here. I know that's mental, but it's possibly the only thing that I can do. That's now going to fill. Oh, that's now going to work. Yeah, it would be really nice if you could turn these and have them on the side and not actually have to build like this to have this, you know? But I suppose that it's not something they've rightly ever thought of, because I wouldn't think about it either. It's just not something that you would generally probably want. No, that needs to be this. I think that needs to be this, and that needs to be this. Now, they should be able to build all of this, because it's only downwards and one upwards. So, we're getting the power to go to there. We're getting the power to come in. It's not bad. I don't know what you reckon. Let me know in the comments. I know one or two you think I'm absolutely as mad as a hatter, probably, but I just think it's... I just think of design. You know what I'm like? I think of design. You know, with the stuff with the YouTube and the thumbnails and everything, it's all about thinking about why it is where it is and does it look like. You mean there was a recent comment about the, I think it was the Oasis playthrough actually, and where the guy said, "Oh, I do it. I just bash it anywhere." And to me, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You're entitled to have it. You're entitled to have it how you want to have it. How can I be making it? I can't be making anymore. I don't even have nothing on. Yes, I do have something on. You will stop making planks. You should not be making planks at all. Yee. Right then. This will tell me whether the power's working or not. There you go. Consider optimizing your paths or splitting the district into smaller ones. I don't think, these days, we ever use any form of district. I just don't think it's used anymore. It's just because of the way that zip lines. I haven't even got any zip lines in here. I was going to get them, but then it was like, well, do I really need them? Am I gonna? It's such a small map. It's like, do I really need them in here? Are we ever going to put them? Because then you need a station, then you need another station, because it's not point in just having one. Obviously, this could all go. I'm just waiting for that to be in. Obviously, I've not got another one going down here, and I've not got them going in the inside or anything, just in this centre. But now you can see how this is being built, or an idea of how it's being built. In fact, actually, the opposite one to this would be just at this side, wouldn't it? Because these would be the other side. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I think it works. Well, we'll know when the power. We'll know when the water comes back. Let's get the water going and see if this turns. That way, then I can get rid of this and this. I'll have to move the wheat up to here, but I'll get it. What I'll do is I'll get that working, and then obviously, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've got sunflower, I've got potatoes! In fact, I don't even think... Oh, yes, I have got bread, so that's... I think I'd probably have it... Well, I'd have enough bread to last a while. And then we got to concentrate on... The thing is that I'm concentrating getting rid of these because... Here we go. Now we're gonna have to wait for... We're gonna have to wait a few minutes for this to fill back up again. And push this water to our power system. But I don't mind it. I didn't have to really do it like that. I could have... well, I suppose it's not that bad. I was thinking I could have pushed it to here and then done it down here as a... But if you think about it, this isn't that long, you know, this power system isn't that long anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference, but I quite like it. Come on, get me some... Imagine I'm going to have to get rid of these, so... Yeah, sorry for the pausing of this. I should have carried it on, but I just didn't... To be honest with you, I just didn't think about it. When you're trying to... I don't want things to be built. I mean, I could actually, if you think about it, fill all this in and not have to have this here because it would go straight over, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to take too much. The thing is, I suppose you spend that much time doing it, and obviously this one here was when I started to know more of the game, because obviously I've got the plains, I've got the waterfalls, and I've got everything else on. Come on, guys, I want this full. I'm not going to blast these up, because if I keep blasting up, this will go further down, and I don't want to... Here we go! Here we go! Woohoo! Is it working? It is. Yes. Oh. I am absolutely bonkers about that. That is just sexy as hell. So we'll close out our... The thing is, I suppose I could actually make this go around like that, and didn't even need to go around that, but this shaft here. But I'm not too worried about that. I think that's a brilliant. That's pucker, Jen. Then all I'd have to do is flip this on this side, like I've been doing there. That needs to come down. We're heading for the end of the video, but you can see the concept. I'm just waiting for it to come round. I hope you've enjoyed that. I know there was a massive amount of explaining and me trying to explain what I was trying to come up with. You know, I think this is the thing about Timberborn. This is how come I like it, because you've got to think about how something, you know, I could have just bashed it in and that would have been the end of it. But as you know, that's not it's not the way that I personally work. Rotate. I think that's okay. No, I want that flipped, don't I? That way. Because they need to hit themselves into there. That now needs to have the power going this way, which is the same as that. I think I'm alright. I'll know when there's a power working, because this little icon will go like that. It says about the district. Whatever. But we haven't obviously selected what we want, because obviously we're going to select wheat in this and wheat in this. It still doesn't stop. Well, actually, if you think about it now, I have a power here. There's no reason why. I wonder if I can turn this around and have that one up there and that one up there. We'll concentrate on that in the next episode because I know we're at an hour. But you can see now the brains in gear. I've got power. I've got power to get rid of get rid of these, but I've also got power for the cocktail because we know that the cocktail needs to flower. But we don't have any power, and I don't want to be putting it down here. I want to use what, and then obviously I've got all this space here. But it sort of makes sense to have it as close to the infrastructure that you want to use it for. And that's the whole point of this. So anyway, I'm going to push this down because I just thought you might want to see this again. Or you'll see this thing, well, because it'll be a thumbnail. And you'll go, what the hell's Pig been doing? Anyway, you take care. We will see you in the next Timberborn, a new diameter. Bye for now.